Hi, welcome to Kevin Alone's audiobook reading Start With Why by Simon Sinek. Part 3.1. The only difference between you and a caveman is the car you drive. The reason the human race has been so successful is not because we're the strongest animals. Far from it. Size and might alone do not guarantee success. We've succeeded as a species because of our ability to form cultures. Cultures are a group of people who come together around a common set of values and beliefs. When we share values and beliefs with others, we form trust. Trust of others allow us to rely on others to help protect our children and ensure our personal survival. The ability to leave the den to hunt or explore with confidence that the community will protect your family and your stuff until you return is one of the most important factors in the survival of an individual and the advancement of our species. That we trust people with common values and beliefs is not, in itself, a profound assertion. There's a reason we're not friends with everyone we meet. We're friends with people we see and who see the world the way we see it, who share our views and our belief set. No matter how good a match someone looks on paper, that does not guarantee a friendship. You can think of it on a micro scale also. The world is filled with different cultures. Being American is not better than being French. There's just different cultures. Not better or worse, just different. American culture strongly values ideals and entrepreneurship, independence, and self reliance. We call our why the American dream. French culture strongly values ideals of unified identity, group reliance, and joie de vie. Notice that we use the French word to describe the joy of life lifestyle. Coincidence, perhaps? Some people are good fits in French culture, and some people are good fits in American culture. It is not a matter of better or worse. They're just different. Most people who are born and raised in one culture will, for obvious reasons, end up being reasonably good fit in that culture, but not always. There are people who grew up in France who never quite felt like they belonged. They were misfits in their own culture. So they moved, maybe to America, drawn to the feelings they had for America's why. They followed the American dream and immigrated. It is always said that America is fueled in large part of immigrants, but it is completely false that all immigrants make productive members of a society. It's not true that all immigrants have an entrepreneurial spirit, just the ones that are viscerally drawn to America. That's what a why does. When it is clearly understood, it attracts people who believe the same thing, and assuming they are good fits for what Americans believe and how they do things. Those immigrants will say of America, I love it here, or I love this country. This visceral reaction has less to do with America and more to do with them. It's how they feel about their opportunity, their own ability to thrive in a culture in which they feel like they belong versus the one they came from. And within the big why that is America, it breaks down even further. Some people are better fits in New York, and some are better fits in Minneapolis. One culture is not better or worse than the other. They are just different. Many people dream of moving to New York, for example, attracted to the glamour or the perception of opportunity. They arrive with aspirations of making it big. They fail to consider whether they will fit into the culture before they make a move. Some make it, but so many don't. Over and over, I've seen people come to New York with big hopes and dreams, but either couldn't find the job they wanted or they found it but couldn't take the pressure. They're not dumb or bad or poor workers, they were just bad fits. They either stay in New York and exert more effort than they need to, hating their jobs and their lives, or they move. If they move, a city in which they are better fits, Chicago or San Francisco or somewhere else, they often end up much happier and more successful. New York is not rationally better than other cities, it's just not right for everyone. Like all cities, it's only right for those who are good fits. The same can be said for any place that has a strong culture or recognizable personality. We do better in cultures in which we are good fits. We do better in places that reflect our own values and beliefs. Just as the goal is not to do business with anyone who simply wants what you have, but to do business with people who believe what you believe, so too is it beneficial to live and work in a place where you will naturally thrive because your values and beliefs align with values and beliefs of that culture. Now consider what a company is. A company is a culture, a group of people brought together around a common set of values and beliefs. It's not products or services that bind a company together. It's not size and that make a company strong. It's the culture, the strong sense of beliefs and values that everyone, from the CEO to the receptionist, all share. So the logic follows. The goal is not to hire people who simply have a skill set you need. The goal is to hire people who believe what we believe. Finding the people who believe what you believe. Early in the 20th century, the English adventurer Ernest Shackleton set out to explore the Antarctic. Roald Amundsen, a Norwegian, had only just become the first explorer ever to reach the South Pole, leaving one remaining conquest, the crossing of the continent by the southernmost tip of the Earth. The land part of the expedition would start at the frigid Weddell Sea below South America and travel 1,700 miles across the pole to the Ross Sea below New Zealand. The cost, Shackleton estimated at the time, would be about $250,000. The crossing of the South Polar Continent would be the biggest polar journey ever attempted. Shackleton told the reporter for the New York Times on December 29, 1913. The unknown fields in the world, which are still unconquered, are narrowing down, but there still remains this great work. On December 5, 1914, Shackleton and a crew of 27 men set out for the Weddell Sea on the Endurance, a 350-ton ship that had been constructed with funds from private donors, the British government, and the Royal Geographical Society.